As Deion Sanders holds back his anger, ex-wife Pilar reacts to Shilo Sanders' disrespect from Antonio Brown. Pilar Sanders has a history of standing up for her sons when things get ugly. She has never shied away from speaking out when the NFL community chooses to play favorites, whether it was to defend her son from rudeness or to call out the silence around systemic prejudices in the draft room. Pilar uploaded a fiery Instagram reel a few weeks ago, which brought the PR machine to its knees. The video analyzed how Shedeur Sanders' achievements and media presence appeared to be overlooked in the NFL's narrative, while future Golden Boy Arch Manning is still praised only for his legacy. Next year, when Arch Manning comes out, compare how they talk about his family as opposed to the way they talk about Shedeur's. The speaker in the reel said, and Pilar co-signed it with her platform. So Pilar's return to the ring was not surprising when Antonio Brown took a jab at Shilo Sanders. Recently, a clip surfaced that captured Shilo Sanders, who is currently with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, locking horns with former Super Bowl champion Antonio Brown during a training session. The video, posted by Jackie on X, shows Shilo physically controlling AB and blocking him to the turf in a clean rep that went viral right away. Pilar? She quickly reposted the video to her Instagram story, which was labeled as AB getting owned by Shilo Sanders' loudly crying face fired. The timing? It just couldn't be better. Because AB was not only beaten on video, but also by the Sanders' son, he attempted to clown online. First, AB had attempted to launch the smear campaign. When Brown was still in playing form, he shared a video of a teenage Shilo getting outrun during a workout that was taken 6 years ago. The inference? Shilo was still not ready to play in the league. But it was high school. Now that he is playing for Todd Bowles, this adult has a genuine opportunity to establish himself. He's a very smart player, and he understands the game very well. I think he'll show himself well, Bowles said in support of the signing. In spite of this, AB attempted to rewrite the story in his own narrative. However, Shilo's mother openly and loudly turned the tables on him. She did the same for Shedeur. And whereas Pilar chose to be loud, Deion Sanders chose silence with a smile, of sorts. Deion Sanders chooses grace over grudge. After all, Shilo wasn't the only target of Antonio Brown's attacks. Shedeur Sanders, who recently fell to pick number 144 in the NFL draft, AB threw a shot at him as well. Now he's Sue, GD, where the cockiness 5th round now this the type of S they have you do when you go 5th round. AB wrote in a now-deleted X post that featured Shedeur at John Marshall High School during a community visit. Low blow AB, Deion's alleged little brother, who publicly ridiculed his son's draft slide. But how did the coach Prime respond? He posted this, at AB84 love you man and I appreciate you my brother. I will never publicly or privately speak negatively on you, man, regardless of what's said. You know I know you and I'm holding on and praying for the AB I know. Even when I played corner, I ain't need no help. Lol. Love you too life. Prime. It's not a retort. That's controlling your anger when they hit so low. But do you remember? Antonio Brown used to idolize Deion Sanders. He took inspiration from Prime for his extravagant game day look. Like some of my idols were like Deion Sanders. I watch him catch like a helicopter or a jet to play professional baseball and go down as the best receiver, he said in 2013. So, where's that respect and admiration now? By taking aim at Deion's persona and calling him an agent, coach, commentator, preacher, AB is destroying that bond and writing. Deion stupida ain't buying that S these days. Antonio Brown's feed resembles a highlight reel of personal grudges. He is obviously on a mission because he first violated Shedeur, then clowned Shilo, and ultimately made fun of Deion's leadership. However, the Sanders family has only responded so far with grace and silence. Let's see how long it lasts. Deion Sanders Jr. sends forward message to Ravens rookie as six-figure bag turns heads in Colorado locker room. What is the difference between Shilo, Shedeur, and Deion Jr. regarding the impact on the Buffs program? Your first pick might be Shedeur, followed by Shilo, and lastly Deion Jr., the eldest son. Anyone would choose Deion Jr. at last, right? Well, that would be anyone who has no idea about how things worked at Colorado last season. Because when you look closely, Deion Jr. was all around, making his electric videos and churning in viewers and long-term broadcasting impact with his newfound venture Welloff Media. But Bucky did things even more than that. He helped players at Colorado get their hype noticed with NFL GMs, and all of this without too much credit. Now, one of those players has finally landed with the Baltimore Ravens in this NFL draft. Well, we are talking about the underrated Colorado wide receiver LaJohntay Wester. The wide receiver might not have gotten the hype he deserved, as all spotlights were on Travis Hunter since he put in a Heisman-level performance. Still, the player was grabbing those catches game after game. Coming on a transfer from FAU after receiving 1,168 yards in 2023, Wester backed it up with another near 1,000-yard performance. Yet, teams were hardly noticing him, and he wasn't even invited to the NFL Combine. But Bucky? He wasn't having any of it as he posted a message on X, directly tagging the NFL. "Where's at _Wester Combine invite at NFL?" Things from then on took off gradually for the wide receiver as he was predicted to be a 7th-round pick in the NFL draft for Pro Football, but the Ravens finally drafted the guy at 203rd overall in the 6th round. Although it was not a drastic upgrade, it was still a significant step forward. The eldest Sanders continuously supported the wide receiver throughout the draft process and now has shared a proud message as Wester is finally donning the Ravens jersey. Deion Jr. replied to a user who posted Wester's girlfriend's Instagram story screenshot that read, "The same number I met him in FAU." Wester's girlfriend, Janiyah, wrote the message on the picture of the wide receiver's jersey that had the number 83 printed on it. This moment might be too emotional for Bucky, as he couldn't have stopped himself from replying as he wrote, "It's a beautiful thing." Well, Deion Jr. would be one of the happiest guys now that Wester has finally made it to the NFL. To be honest, the former wide receiver deserved the spot, and now to see the emotional story about Wester's girlfriend's emotional coincidence, the moment undoubtedly deserves celebration. Well, that's how Bucky is, as he always does things selflessly without even getting noticed. Even Lil Wayne, the famous rapper and Sanders family's close confidant, said it once. Deion Jr.'s off-field media heroics are finally reaping their rewards. The off-field exploits that Bucky did helped boost Colorado's footprint on social media and even gave the program a whole new identity. The eldest Sanders provided us with moments unseen in a regular game, starting from locker room gossip to off-field parties to Coach Prime's banter. The guy gave us a sneak peek at everything in Colorado. This is something, however, that remains quite underappreciated, but in terms of money, well, that's another story. I always highlight, you gotta look at the person like Bucky, right? Bucky took an iPhone and figured out how to zoom in, zoom out, started a whole media company in Jackson State. Next thing, you know, he was getting mad views. He hit me up one time. He said, "You're not gonna believe how much money I made this month." Wallow said in a recent episode with Welloff Media, and continued, he made like $150,000 in 1 month. Well, the story of the Ravens wideout is just the tip of the iceberg. The program saw a more than 258% increase in recruitment activity due to Bucky. Even recruits used to tell him about his videos as Coach Prime bagged commitment after commitment. Moreover, the Buffs' social media presence increased by more than 500%, which is mind-boggling to think. And all of this from a guy who wasn't involved in any official capacity with the Buffs. That's dead crazy, right?